hard to tell on a foul. Madden was on top of the play. But it's hard when you're playing with a lack of intensity. You simply cannot blame the officials, you know, for your lack of production and whatever's happening.
Foul was on Dennis Johnson. That's his third of the ball game. The fourth on the Celtics in the half. Pressey goes out, and that's Mike Dunleavy back in for Milwaukee. The Bucks have chopped it back down to 3 points. Celtics had moved ahead 50-42, but now it's 50-47.
This game will stay close until the Celtics lift their intensity level. If they do not, we're going to go to the wire this way.
Henderson trying to wheel by Dunleavy, and a foul called on the Bucks on Dunleavy.
Yeah, there's Henderson with much more speed than Mike. If they can isolate him, that time they cleared the right side, set a little high pick for him, and he was gone. So Dunleavy has no choice but to grab. He's got that advantage. Bird, that's the third pass he's thrown away. I'll tell you, he's playing as quietly as any time I've seen him all year long. He's really playing stand-up defense. He's careless with his passing. He's not asserting himself at all offensively. We talked about not taking charge or taking over. There's the replay. Johnson just bringing it right to him. There's no help on defense. They're reaching for the ball. A lot of false hustle out there. There's really not much of an effort at all defensively.
Marques missing the first of the two. 5:06 to go, first half. Celtics are leading by 3. They had led by as many as 8 just a moment ago, as a matter of fact. Now they lead by just 2.
Hey, if Milwaukee had any kind of a half offensively, they'd have an 8 or 10-point lead at this point.
Bird trying to go on Marques Johnson. Now Maxwell. Bird whipping it to Henderson, and he was fouled prior to taking the shot by Sidney Moncrief. That'll be 3 on the Bucks' great guard.
Well, there's a little movement. Bird was winding up for the jumper, spotted Henderson's movement to the board. And,
beautiful job by Maxwell. Cedric has had a heck of a game himself.
He anticipated the double. They've been getting it every time. Nelly did not double low in the first couple of games. This game, he has gone to it. Little adjustment defensively. Now the Celtics are starting to adjust themselves to it, sending that man to the basket for the layup.
They get it low to Lanier. The big man kicks it back out. Bridgeman. Lanier, the offensive board. Milwaukee starts fresh. Moncrief strong to the basket, but it is blocked by Bird. And Larry comes up with a loose ball. They had a 3-on-1, but Henderson lost control of it. Ahead to Maxwell.
Well, I'll tell you, that could trigger a momentum change because that was a fine play by Bird.
Yes, sir. Maxwell hits the deck, but he was fouled. That puts Milwaukee over the limit, and the crowd appreciative of the hustle shown by Larry Bird. Here it comes.
Take a look at this one. This is a great one. Dennis keeps it alive first, stripping Moncrief. Bird, you notice, as he was going to the floor, he was still aware of what he was trying to do. In other words, there was intelligent direction, you know, in regard to how he was going to get rid of the ball and who he was going to go to, as opposed to just a save.
Cedric missing the first free throw. He has 12 points and 4 rebounds so far. Moncrief comes out. That last foul was on Dunleavy, and McHale is in. That puts Bridgeman and Dunleavy now as the Milwaukee guards. Max with another free throw. 13 points for Cedric, and a 5-point Celtics lead. 4 minutes left, first half.
Okay, if anyone's overachieved in this series, it's been McHale. He's had a fine series. For his talent level, I'll tell you, anytime you're 6'11" on any level of basketball and you work as hard as that kid does, you're usually going to get something accomplished.
Well, he rebounded Lanier, blocked by Parish.
Nice job.
He was cut by 4 teams. O'Donnell says Maxwell went out of bounds on the near side.
Yeah, but he was forced out of bounds.
Yes.
You've got to call. If you're going to call a violation, you've got to call a foul.
That's the 11th Celtics turnover, and it'll be Milwaukee ball. Take another look. Where did he step out? Saw it right there. His right heel stepped out. Lanier. Now Bridgeman. Lanier follows.
Again, no one on the board. Lanier all by himself.
53-50, Boston leading. McHale had been cut by 4 teams before making it with the Bucks. Now the Celtics want a 22nd timeout. So McHale, who had been cut by 4 clubs, finally caught on with the Bucks. Matter of fact, caught on at the tail end of last year, and
hey, he was
very hard
by Cleveland. How bad
Cavaliers.
can you be going? If you got released by Cleveland, and he came in here, found a home, and in this series, we haven't seen him during the year very much, but boy, in this series, he has done a job. But that will happen frequently.
With a man that
especially
size,
in playoffs. Well, yeah, what we said a moment ago. Anytime you're 6'11" and you work at it, you know, it's not going to be pretty, but you're going to get something accomplished. But more than that, generally, Red Auerbach and Don Gaston, your picture there. More than that, in a playoff situation where the preparation defensively is much more comprehensive and extreme, your thrust is going to be obviously towards the big guns, the Moncrief and the Johnson. So if a sub coming off the bench decides to work at it, he's the guy, you know, that can surprise you and get something accomplished, as McHale has.
Bird, now Henderson, his shot, doesn't get it this time, however, follows it up in the paint. No. Celtics have a 24-12 rebounding edge. Taylor Dunleavy almost threw it in the Boston basket with that save. And traveling is called on McHale. Celtics have a 24-12 rebounding edge, but in turnovers, 11-4. Boston with 11 turnovers.
They've had 11, and Milwaukee, however, is very vulnerable to turnovers, but in order to create them, you've got to pressure defensively, and the Celtics really haven't gone to that at all.
All right, Bird finds McHale, and no basket. Foul was on McHale. Bucks are over the limit, so it'll be McHale at the foul line. Celtics trailed at the end of the first quarter, 35-34. They were down 40-38 with 9 minutes to go in this quarter. Then they put on a 10-0 surge to go ahead 48-40. But the Bucks have chopped it back to 3, now 4 as McHale hits. Don Nelson.
Intensity, you know, plays such a role, obviously, in complementing whatever you prepare to do, whether it's playoffs or regular season. Whatever your pre-game planning is, if it's not complemented by intensity, throw it out the window. You know, it doesn't matter how astute or how intelligent it is. It just becomes worthless.
Offensive foul called on Milwaukee's Bob Lanier. His 3rd personal. Now, Johnson goes out for Milwaukee, and Moncrief comes in.
Lanier not having a good series. He was effective on Monday. Had his only good game inside, work defensively, and just played a good game for Lanier, but he just hasn't been able to get it done.
Bird, a 20-footer, no. Rebound Henderson, and a foul on Dunleavy. And that'll put Henderson at the foul line. And Dunleavy's foul is his 3rd. There's Alton Lister coming in for Milwaukee. He replaces Big Bob Lanier. One of the when Lister was a rookie a couple of years ago, he had forgotten his sneakers somewhere, and he asked Lanier if he had an extra pair of sneakers. So all the other Bucks players started laughing as you see Paul Pressey come and started laughing, figuring he's going to swim around in the gunboats that Lanier wears because he wears size 22. Lister puts them on and says, "See, they're a perfect fit," and they were.
2 people in the world with
22
with that size, right? Lanier always thought he was the only one.
Those are feet, friends. Nearly 2 feet per foot. 57-50 on the Henderson free throws. Lister, now McHale. Bangs it home.
That's his shot.
Yes, it is.
He's hit very well from the outside, strangely enough.
2 minutes left, first half.
And his size, you'd expect him to play better with his back to the basket. McHale would rather face.
Played his college ball at Kansas. Bird trying to back in on Pressey. Bird's got 4 inches on him. Over him for 2.
Problem with being a Larry Bird in this world is that you establish your own standard. When you don't, you know, when you play like a normal basketball player, everyone says you're having a bad night. And so far, Larry's played very ordinary, not like the Larry Bird we've come to know.
Bird battles for the rebound and gets it. He and Parish were both there together. Celtics come down leading by 7 with 1:20 to go in the half. It's been a methodical 7-point lead. Johnson.
They're trying to isolate Bird on Pressey. He's got 3.
Bird has it blocked by Pressey. Finds McHale. Misses a layup. Gets another one. Gets the 2. Pressey at 6'5", blocking Bird's fall-away. That's a pretty good job.
He's tough. He's got that big reach, and his strength is defense, although he's played very well offensively in the last couple of games. But you can't take him lightly, and that's what they, you have the tendency to do when you see him matched up with Larry Bird.
Pressey has developed into a pretty good ball player. Let's take a look here at Bird getting the pass to McHale. Now, he misses the easy one, gets the rebound, and then hits a harder one, a little fall away.
We've talked about this before, but you see it well in that replay. The reason McHale is so effective is he carries the arms over his head constantly. When you're 6'10" and you do this, you become almost 7'10" when your arms are that long. There's the turnover stat. As we said, the Bucks are very vulnerable. The Celtics have not had to exploit any defensive pressure against the Bucks in order to create turnovers, with the exception of the third game when they came back from the 15 points, and for a while in the fourth when they tried to come back and weren't successful. But here at home, they haven't had to do it. But
they lost the ball.
Yeah, 5 seconds. If it's necessary, they've got that in reserve. If Casey sends them all over in a trapping posture, why, they are going to create some Milwaukee turnovers.
Milwaukee's averaging 14 turnovers per game in this series. The 5-second call there against the Bucks. ML is in the game for the Celtics. ML Carr. Bird over Bridgeman. No. Rebound Moncrief. 34 seconds left in the half. Celtics are leading by 9. But it's been a struggle for them here in the first half.
And a struggle for Bird. He continues to work much harder offensively to create the shots than he generally must.
That leads me to believe he may come out really smoking in the second half. Ball out of bounds off the Celtics. 15 seconds left in the half. And 5 on the shot clock. Bridgeman, McHale, Lister, Moncrief, and Romar in the game for the Bucks. And McHale threw it away.
He took his eye off it. He was looking into the middle.
Technical foul on McHale. Well, really, Big Mo, that's exactly what he did, Cousy. He took his eye off the ball.
He looked away, tried to control it with one hand. You tell the kids 2 hands. He tried to do it with one hand. Don Nelson looking kind of resigned to the situation. Obviously, it's an uphill battle for Milwaukee. They don't need any technicals, and they've had a lot of illegal defenses called as well. Remember, in Milwaukee in the third game, they had 4 of them, right?
2 in a row.
I think this is effective. They normally play an excellent collapsing game. They take that inside game away from you. I think this has made them gun shy.
9 seconds to go in the half. Boston looking to get one more shot off. They get it to Bird. McHale, turnaround. No. That'll be the half. Celtics with a 10-point lead. Now, despite the fact that the Celtics lost some intensity somewhere in the middle of the first quarter and didn't start to regain any of it until maybe later on in the second quarter, midway through, they have managed to build brick by brick a 10-point lead. The Celtics were down at the quarter 35-34. They in the second quarter scored 28 points. And Milwaukee scored only 17 points in that quarter, Coos.
It's going to sound strange, but the way they're playing, they might be better off being down at halftime. Playing as lackadaisically as they have and still being up by 10 is going to neutralize whatever Casey has to say to them at halftime. Because in their minds, see, they don't think they play badly, so if you accept our opinion that this has been their weakest performance defensively of the playoffs so far, and yet they look at that scoreboard and say, hey, what's he talking about? We're up by 10. Pretty hard to get them, goosed up a little bit.
All right, that's the end of the first half at the Boston Garden with our score: the Celtics 62 and the Milwaukee Bucks 52. Turnovers, Boston with 11, Milwaukee with 8. And the individual scoring, Moncrief 10 points in the first half, 10 for Paul Pressey, and 10 for Alton Lister, who's had a superb first half. As you look at K.C. Jones, Chris Ford, and Jimmy Rogers plotting their second half strategy. 8 points for Marques Johnson, 7 for Mike Dunleavy, 3 for Paul McHale, and 2 each for Junior Bridgeman and Bob Lanier. Bridgeman, with only 2 at the half, might indicate he could be very dangerous in the second half because he is a streak shooter. Celtics are led by Larry Bird and Cedric Maxwell, each with 13 first half points. Bird and Maxwell each with 4 rebounds. Dennis Johnson's had a bang-up game, 9 points, 5 rebounds. He's second in the club in rebounding in the first half. Robert Parish has 7 points and 7 rebounds. Gerald Henderson, 9 points. Kevin McHale, 8, and Quinn Buckner, 3. The foul situation, no one on the Celtics in any kind of difficulty, but the Bucks have their problems as Moncrief, Lanier, Pressey, and Dunleavy all have 3 personal fouls.
And they're going to have to get more aggressive in order to make up the deficit, so that could play a role. Yeah, Dennis Johnson has been a premier Celtic player so far.
With Maxwell a close second, would you say?
Yes. Bridgeman, keep your eye on Bridgeman because he played very well in the 4th game in Milwaukee. He is an excellent outside shooter. You know, we've said that good shooters like a lot of pressure. Celtics, by virtue of not playing good D, have left him open, and I think this really has affected his shooting.
We've had a foul in the first 8 seconds of the second half. Robert Parish picks up his second personal, and Sidney Moncrief will go to the line. I was watching Marques Johnson run up the floor. You remember he tripped over M.L. Carr in Game 4 on Monday at Milwaukee and bruised his left knee, and Marques is not running well at all. He has a knee brace on the left knee, but he is running with a noticeable limp. Moncrief, 2 free throws.
Well, look, the heat has affected both clubs.
I can understand that.
It should, you know, it should affect Milwaukee, given the fact that they're a much older team, as we pointed out early in the series, the oldest team in the league, I guess.
Yes.
5 guys over 30. You know, you have to assume at the end of a long season and a playoff battle that these conditions would affect them a bit more.
Well, Moncrief hits the first point of the second half. Dennis Johnson, who had a whiz-bang first half for the Celtics, brings it down. Celtics now within a half of taking the Eastern Conference Championship. Bird finding Henderson. It's by Moncrief. Misses the shot, however. Dennis Johnson picks up the loose ball. Slapped out deep. Dunleavy's got it. Milwaukee's got a 3-on-3 right now. Bridgeman, Moncrief. All the way. Reverse layup, no. Bird the rebound.
Moncrief just blows by the Celtics, who continue to stand around defensively. Just very little effort.
Gerald Henderson.
And Gerald continues to penetrate well. He had 3
very early
good hoops with his penetration in the first quarter. And he gets the first one.
Gives the Celtics their biggest lead of the game, 11 points, 64-53. Moncrief outside. Deep rebound to Bird. They are 2-on-4. Johnson will try to take it all the way, but Dunleavy picked his pocket. Dunleavy on the steal, gets it back to Bridgeman. Now Marques through the middle. Pretty dandy move by Marques Johnson. Celtics lead is back down to 9 points. We played a minute and a half here in quarter number 3.
They continue to look to exploit the Maxwell Bridgeman.
Look at that. Wow. Beautiful by Gerald Henderson. Yeah, he's going in there like there's no one around.
Well, again, the trap. They're trapping off the strong guard. Henderson was the strong guard. He passed it to Max. Max waited for the trap, and they keep releasing the man who's left alone, the guard, to the basket. That time, it still required a heck of a move by Henderson to finish the playoff.
I believe he's now got 13 points in the game. Marques, bad knee and all, banks one in. 66-57 Celtics. Maxwell with Bridgeman on it. Max is fouled by Junior Bridgeman, and Cedric will go to the line.
That
First
time,
Milwaukee team
again,
foul.
They're consistent. They evidently feel that that's the weakness. You notice Dunleavy gets in, but a little late. Max spins away from him, picks up the foul on Bridgeman.
Cedric Maxwell with a couple of free throws coming. He's shooting his foul shots at an 80% clip in this series. Paul Pressey has checked in for the Bucks, and Mike Dunleavy has gone out. 2 free throws for the man from Kinston, Alabama. Kinston, North Carolina, Cedric Maxwell. Max 2 for 2. Again, an 11-point Boston lead.
Nelly's going to have to make a decision, assuming the lead stays at about this level, you know, as to when to go out and extend pressure a bit, start gambling, trapping the ball, and things of that nature. There's the
blocked by Dennis Johnson.
Yeah, just a quick flash inside by Moncrief, and once
goaltending the call. Look at it.
Dennis stays home well. Oh wow, that certainly hadn't reached its apex.
Hadn't gone as high as they're supposed to either.
Yeah, exactly.
So you count the hoop, and it's 68-59. Here's Henderson, who started off this third quarter like a flash. Not that time. Robert Parish, however, gets the offensive boards, and the Celtics start fresh. Bird. No.
Bird's looking for the easy offense. He's taking the first shot that shows. He's not been his usual effective self tonight so far.
68-59 it remains. Just under 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Maxwell looking for an open man low. It's Henderson for a jump hook. Follows it up, and a loose ball foul will go to Gerald Henderson.
Yeah, he rushed the shot inside that time. He came off the pick and was naked. Just rushes it a bit. Wow.
That's 3 on Henderson. McHale has come in for the Bucks. Henderson's still on the floor, and no one has gone out to attend him. The Celtics quickly take a 20-second timeout. Gerald hit the deck pretty hard is really what happened. Let's take another peek, and you'll see him after the shot. He really gets whacked.
Well, Lanier's the guy who got a, let's see, who he collides with here. Yeah, Big Bob.
No contest.
Yeah. It's not only the size of his feet that are big. The rest of the bod is pretty wide and strong, too.
Well, Gerald weighs 175 pounds, and Bob Lanier weighs 275 pounds, so I would say the 100-pound difference.
A little bit of a mismatch.
Sort of was felt. Third quarter shooting, Celtics 2 for 7. It's only 28%. Milwaukee 3 for 6. Bucks have brought McHale into the ball game, and they have taken out Junior Bridgeman. Moncrief, Pressey, Marques Johnson, Lanier, and McHale now for the Bucks. Celtics with no changes in the third quarter. McHale straight away. Marques takes it in, and he gets 2 on a good bounce. So the Bucks chop it down to 7 points. Celtics not playing with their usual fire so far in this one.
No movement on offense.
Maxwell does a dipsy-do.
Wow, nice move. Good penetration by Max there.
17 points now for Cedric Maxwell in the ball game. His series high has been 19, and his playoff high as well. McHale line drive hook, but he was fouled by Larry Bird.
Well, we told you it wasn't pretty, but he gets it done. There it is. Again, Celts giving up the good position. McHale wheels in. Bird gives him a lot of body contact.
Celtics' third team foul of this quarter, by the way. Lanier goes out, and Lister comes in for the Bucks. McHale gets gets his first of 2. He'll shoot one more. Here's Alden Lister, who had a good first half, 10 points.
Surprised Nelly got him out as quickly as he did, because you're right. He was very aggressive and active, and was getting a lot accomplished while he played.
Celtics come down, leading by 7 points, 70-63. 7:45 left in the third quarter. Nice pass to Parish, but couldn't make connections. Loose ball. Johnson, no. Rebound. Foul, Milwaukee. Good alert play by the Celtics that time defensively.
And Dennis continues to trigger the activity close to that basket. There's a nice layoff to Robert, who gets caught in midair and throws an air ball. Dennis waits and times it nicely as Moncrief gets the rebound, but then brings it down.
The fourth offensive rebound of this game for Dennis Johnson. He has a total of 7 so far altogether. DJ with a couple of free throws. 10 points. He's played on a championship team. There's Junior Bridgeman back in for the Bucks. He replaces Marques Johnson. Dennis Johnson was a very important member of the Seattle Supersonics championship team of a few years ago. 72-63 Celtics. 7:40 left, third quarter, game number 5. The Celtics win, it's over. If the Bucks win, there's a game 6 in Milwaukee on Friday.
Milwaukee having a little trouble getting into their play.
Steal, Bird, ahead to Henderson. Got a little leg on the field, reverse layup.
Wow. Good job. Had a little trouble identifying where the ball was. Once he got it, though, he knew what to do with it.
Celtics back up by 11. Steal by Bird again as he cut in front of Lister. Great defensive play there, right into the passing lane. And it's Johnson. Low to Maxwell, off to Parish. Celtics on a roll. They ram home 6 unanswered points, and the Bucks have to take a timeout. Standing O off of that last little burst. 6:59 left to play, third quarter, Boston Garden. Celtics now up by 13 points, 76-63. A minute and a half standing ovation for the Celtics off of that quick 6-0 shot that has given them a 13-point lead. 76-63. Long way to go. 6:50 left, third quarter. But that was the best Celtics surge of the ball game, keyed by 2 Larry Bird steals.
Exactly, and it was the most sustained ovation and explosion maybe we may have heard in this series. Yeah, did that get their attention?
Yeah, they've been waiting, I think, Coos, for something to happen.
I'll tell you, that's your home court advantage.
Lanier had walked with it. Boston ball coming back.
Poor Bob's had his problems, and, you know, again, not to make excuses, he's had an outstanding career, but the wheels are gone, and in playoff competition,
Bird for 3 points. Good!
Wow.
Larry Bird, 3-point shot.
Did he measure that one?
Woo! 16-point lead. A 9-0 Celtics run. Rebound Bird. Here they come. They're starting to take control. Johnson to the hoop. Blocked. Loose ball. Johnson. Jump ball. The Celtics suddenly just wham. Erupted, exactly. McHale comes out and Marques Johnson comes in. In case you're wondering why Johnson is not wearing jersey with his name on the back, that's not his usual jersey. He usually wears number 8.
Yeah,
I think he left it at the dry cleaners.
When the game opens up, you've got to get McHale out of there. Good substitution on Nelly's part. He needs the speed and quickness now. Not that it's going to make a heck of a lot of difference, I don't think. But
Bird gets the loose ball. They're on a roll.
Robert can't find the free man. He's going in the wrong direction. Never go towards your own basket. Go towards the bad guy's basket.
Johnson in the lane. 2 more. An 11-0 Boston run and an 18-point lead.
They're overpowering them now.
They can smell it, I think.
Absolutely right. Triggered by Bird's 2 outstanding steals.
Celtics are 3 on 4. Bird gets the kiss-off pass. Shot doesn't go. Gets his own rebound. It's a 20-point lead. Another timeout. A 13-0 Boston surge. Look at this crowd. The old building is shaking right now. The Celtics a 13-0 run. They lead by 20 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Play back in. Bucks with the ball. Celtics on a 13-0 surge. Blocked. Here they come again. They're 3 on 3. Max on the cut. He is fouled, and no. Traveling is called.
I'd say it took a while to get it in gear, but boy, once they got it in third gear, it really has been running smoothly here in the third quarter.
They have just hit Milwaukee with a 13-0 haymaker. Bird in this surge over 2.5 minutes, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, and an assist. Moncrief on the jumper. No. Lister, the rebound, wrapped out of bounds, and a foul on the Celtics.
Triggered as usual by good defense on the part of the Celtics. You know, the Bird steals, a couple of block shots. Here it is. Lister with the good position. Lister continues to work hard and well finally in this series, in this game.
Dunleavy has replaced Moncrief for Milwaukee. McHale getting set to come in for the Celtics. But the Celtics suddenly put this thing into high gear and dramatically reeled off a 13-0 surge. Cedric Maxwell, who's been a key in the ball game, sits down and McHale comes in.
Well, this is where it's got to be demoralizing to a coach who has just been hit with the kind of run that the Celtics have laid on you. You take Max out, and in comes McHale.
Yeah.
You know, obviously not getting a breather.
2 free throws by Lister stops the Celtics burst or surge, but they can keep going. Henderson, no. Rebound to Dunleavy. Milwaukee with Marques Johnson having it partially blocked, and goaltending is the call. So the Bucks have answered with 4 quick points. But the lead is still substantial. At this point, it's 16.
Marques Johnson getting high up there on that reject. And another goaltending call that might have gone the other way.
Celtics have called a timeout. And with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the third quarter, the Bucks have answered with 4 quick points to make it 83-67, but the Celtics still in pretty good shape. That's Celtics receptionist watching the ball game along with another 14,890 folks, the 167th consecutive Boston Garden sellout crowd to watch the Celtics in action.
They haven't been subdued by the heat because
no,
they were sitting on their hands for a while, but God, what an explosion there a few minutes ago.
Well, that went from 8 minutes to play in the quarter. It was 70-63, and 2.5 minutes later, it was 83-63 on a 13-0 Celtics roundhouse right.
You know, as a player, you can't imagine, you know, emotionally what an impact that kind of sustained encouragement on the part of 14,000 obviously highly partisan fans has on you, and you know how it translates into very, very positive action on the floor, because and this again is what you don't get away from home, or all you're hit with is hostility.
Yeah.
And you know, reverse.
But so many players, Coos,
there's a panic of chaos.
Oh yes. So many players, however, say that really doesn't bother them.
Oh, it's conversation. That's macho talk that is meaningless, because it's reflected in the you know, home court figures that take place every year. Obviously, the home team wins the majority of the games on their home court, and that's why.
Now the Celtics had an 11 rebound edge at the half. Now they have a 19 rebound edge on Milwaukee. Larry Bird has 18 points and 7 rebounds. Celtics now 8 for 16 in this quarter, and the rebounding edge is 38-20. Parish finds Henderson for a little pop. 2 more.
4 hoops, 8 points for Henderson here in the quarter. Gil has penetrated well all game long. Such a difference if you've got a guard that is effectively penetrating in terms of creating movement by an apprehension on the part of that back line.
Dunleavy's 3-pointer. Rebound picked off Lanier. Dunleavy again inside the 3-point arc, and he hits a 2-point. Henderson now has 17 points in the ball game, and that is a career playoff high for Gerald Henderson prior to this season. However, in this series, he has had a 22-point game. No, he had a 19-point game. Sorry. Parish on the follow-up, and it's 18 points again, 87-69.
The McHale-Parish duo teaming up nicely there. McHale brought it to the basket. They had to double team him. Lanier had to leave Robert, and that opened up the offensive rebounding lane for him.
Marques Johnson outside, rebound to Pressey. Looked like he ran with it.
Only allowed one of those,
Thank
Paul.
you.
I'm sorry, new rule this year. One dribble at a time.
Parish has 10 rebounds in the game. Watch Pressey here. He does a good job to get the offensive rebound.
He took a walk there.
Yeah, he did.
Could have called the violation on the first move.
Celtics are leading by 18. Bird in the lane, lays a couple of moves, and is called for traveling by Jack Madden. So it'll come back the other way. 2 minutes, 46 seconds left to play third quarter. Celtics with an 18-point lead as they've exploded here in this third quarter. Marques on the baseline. Dunleavy, 3-pointer. Tell you what, that kid is tough from 3 points. That is 2 in this game, 2 out of 3. He's got 7 of 15 3-point shots in this series.
You might say it's too early to go for the 3-pointer.
Not
They're
with
not
him.
going for it. That's his shot.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, he shoots better from that range than from the 16 or 17-foot range.
Bird has Marques on him. Loses the ball, and a foul will be called on the Bucks.
Only the third team foul, however. So.
Danny Ainge in for the Celtics. Dennis Johnson goes out. He gets a deserved big hand. Only the third team foul, so it's a possession foul. And the ball going out of bounds. DJ, 13 points, 9 rebounds for the Celtics big guard. Milwaukee ball. Celtics lead is 15 points.
No, he called the foul on Henderson on the inbounds.
He did.
Yeah, and it'll be his 4th, and the team is over the limit.
Oh, that puts Dunleavy at the line. I didn't see him do that. I thought he had called the ball out of bounds off Boston. Now Buckner will come in for the Celtics, and he will replace Henderson. Henderson and Johnson, there's Quinn, also helped to spark that run with their quick pushing of the ball up the court.
And now it's a question of having enough offense and strength, stamina at this point to get yourself back into the game. Where Milwaukee's concerned, and they have to use their defense to trigger some of it. And again, they're exposed here because they don't have the kind of men they can send out there.
Celtics lead is down to 13 points after a Milwaukee burst here. Bird trying to back in on Johnson with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Ainge, Bird. He is fouled by Marques Johnson. That'll be the 4th team foul on Milwaukee. Still a possession foul.
A little slow in developing this play here. Bird is waiting for the trap and looking for the free men.
Alton Lister stole the inbounds pass, however. Dunleavy gets it down to Lister. Blocked by Parish. And a loose ball foul on the Bucks. That'll put the Celtics on the line.
Took a little while, but they're going to get there.
Foul is on Alton Lister. Moncrief is in for the Bucks. Marques Johnson goes out. McHale is in for the Bucks, and big Bob Lanier goes out. Cedric Maxwell will come in for the Celtics. And I suspect
probably for Bird, I would think. No,
let's see.
No, he probably McHale. And
yeah, Kevin McHale at the line, and Max is still sitting in the box on the side. Kevin hits his 9th point of the game. Now Maxwell will come in for Robert Parish.
All right.
Parish has been a key man in the Celtics' total domination of the boards here tonight. 10 rebounds for Parish as he leaves. McHale the missed shot, so it's a 14-point edge. 1 minute and 40 to go, third quarter. Moncrief has Ainge on him, and a whistle and foul on Cedric Maxwell, fouling Junior Bridgeman. And that'll put Bridgeman at the line. That's Cedric's 2nd personal foul. Junior Bridgeman at the line. 2 shots for Milwaukee. Bridgeman coming into the game averaging 17 points a game, but he hasn't done much tonight. He only has 2 points as he stands up there. He was a big guy in game 4 for the Bucks with 20 points. That was his playoff high. He hits them both. 88-76. Celtics lead is 12. 1.5 minutes left, third quarter. Buckner being guarded by Dunleavy.
Looks like they're trying to set Bird up inside on Bridgeman.
Bird gets it back outside to Buckner. Little jumper. Good.
Quinn likes to step into the jump shot with the little dribble. If he gets that little dribble and a little forward momentum, he's much more effective with that shot.
Back up to a 14-point lead with 1 minute to go, third quarter. Bridgeman, now Dunleavy. Junior from way outside. Rebound tipped deep, Dunleavy. And he threw it away.
He had Lister off the rebound. Couldn't quite get it to the big guy.
40 seconds left, third quarter. Celtics are leading by 14. Their biggest lead has been 18. Celtics definitely trying to set Bird up against Bridgeman. In and out. Rebound Moncrief, 30 seconds.
Yeah, they bring him over from the weak side, or rather from the strong side, but they swing the ball over to his side as he moves through.
Another three-pointer. Mike Dunleavy has 3 of them in 4 attempts tonight. He was 5 for 6 against the Celtics in the regular season on those things.
And Milwaukee's right back into the game.
Yep, 11 points. 11-point Boston lead. 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Bird goes on Bridgeman. Reverse layup, no. Tip, no. McHale again. No basket. So the Celtics lead, which had vaulted all the way up to 18 points, is cut back down. Wait a minute. We have a foul on the Bucks. So we're not going to break yet. We have Kevin McHale going to the line for 2 free throws as the quarter has come to a close. Kevin getting a couple of shots. So the Celtics lead had been 18. The Bucks narrowed it down to 11. Let's see what McHale does with these 2 free throws. 12-point lead. If the place gets too quiet, he won't be able to shoot. You're wondering what's going on.
I'll tell you, this adds a little more pressure, you know, when you're out there by yourself. And there's, you know, nobody on that line. You say, hey, where'd everybody go? What am I doing out here exposed?
So after 3 quarters at the Boston Garden in Game 5, it is the Celtics 92 and the Bucks 79. Celtics outscored the Bucks 30-27 in the third quarter for this 13-point lead after 3. And this is our 36th and final Celtics telecast of the season here on TV4. Anything else, whether it's the rest of the season or the rest of this playoff series or the finals, will be handled by the network. But these are the people behind the scenes who have been bringing you the pictures and the sounds of exciting Celtics basketball all season long on Channel 4. And we'd like to thank them for their great work and want to give them a little shot in the sun here and let everybody know who they are. Well, we're set to start the final 12 minutes of play in this 5th game. The Celtics have Henderson, Johnson, McHale, Parish, and Maxwell out there. The Bucks have Moncrief, Pressey, McKeskey, Lister, and Bridgeman. Celtics 48% shooting in the third quarter, 11 for 23. The Bucks 7 of 16. Boston with a 40-25 rebounding edge in the game. Parish in the turnaround, 15-point lead.
Nice time to get the first 2. Especially after finishing it with the 2 McHale free throws. Milwaukee had brought it down to 11. Now you're back to 15. Obviously a lot more comfortable cushion. Makes Milwaukee's job a little bit tougher trying to get back into it.
Pressey outside. Parish went to the board strong, but he's going to be called for a loose ball foul. First Celtics foul of the fourth quarter, and on Robert Parish his 3rd. Celtics with a 13-0 run from 9 minutes to 5.5 minutes of the third quarter, putting them in the position they're in right now, leading by 15. Check that foul on Parish. That is number 4 on the sheet. McKeskey trying to work up over Dennis Johnson, and foul is called on Johnson.
Oh, wow. McKeskey just leaned in and wiped Dennis out on that play. They got caught in a mismatch. Take a peek. They're aware of the mismatch. They want to go to McKeskey. Well, yeah, you see with that inside hand, just wiped him out. And the foul is on Johnson.
His 4th and the Celtics 2nd of this fourth quarter, which is only 53 seconds old. Dennis trying to talk to Jack Madden about it over here down in front of us. McKeskey gets 1 of 2. McHale is hit by Moncrief, and so Moncrief picks up the loose ball foul. That is 4 on Moncrief. Putting the ball in play will be Dennis Johnson. 11 minutes to play in the game. Celtics leading by 14 points. Biggest lead has been 20. Bucks' biggest lead was 3.
They'll have to make sure they continue not doing that. Continue with their up-tempo game. Got to make sure they don't start running that clock down too early. They have pretty good momentum going.
Yeah.
And that's the kiss of death if you kill yourself off too quickly, and especially on this level.
Moncrief trying to reset things for the Bucks. They have 8 seconds on the shot clock. Pressey to the hoop. And that ball should have been offensive goaltending.
Lister doing a good job keeping it
Celtics
alive.
throw it away.
And Celtics continue to be careless at the wrong time.
All right, it'll be Milwaukee ball. Moncrief to put it inbound. 12-point Celtics lead now with 10:20 to go. Folks starting to muscle it up a little bit down low. Pressey posting up over Henderson. No basket. There's the offensive goaltending call.
Well, late, but nevertheless effective.
Celtics ball coming back.
Lister continues to do a good job.
Best game he's had in the whole series.
They say this kid is up and down, in and out, and he's certainly been that. Can't wait to the 5th game of a series to start doing your thing, but that's what he's done.
Blocked by Lister, and McHale wins the battle for the loose ball. It'll be Milwaukee ball coming down. Bird coming back in for the Celtics, and Lanier for the Bucks. Lanier replaces McHale. Bird replaces Maxwell. Now Larry got a couple of minute rest. No, McHale is not going out, as they won't let him into the ball game. They won't let Bird in either. Oh, Bird and Lanier both want to come into the ball game, but the officials are not letting them in. Maxwell comes back out on the floor for the Celtics.
A little confusion at the scorer's bench. You've got to come out. You've got to come over and check in, as Lanier and Bird are doing. So I don't. And there was a dead ball, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really know why they're not allowed in, but
oh well. All right, it'll be Milwaukee ball. As you look at Don Nelson, his team is down by 12. They either win tonight or pack the shirts and sneakers away for the season. Pressey, big strong guard, 6'5", 200-pounder. Bridgeman, partially blocked by Parish. Bridgeman again. No. Dennis Johnson, his 10th rebound. Dennis pushes it up. Parish.
Robert
gave him a shove, and Robert not too pleased
long
with
way.
it.
That's a real no-no. You don't want to take the ball away from your own basket unless it's absolutely necessary.
Johnson to Parish underneath.
Good pick
Excellent
and roll
job.
play. Yep. Dennis, good smart play there, anticipating the switch. Opened up the Parish cut to the basket.
Pressey leans into McHale, has it blocked. Ball to the floor. Everybody after it. Lister has it. Basket is in by Alvin Lister. Steal right into the hands of Pressey, blocked by Johnson. Foul on the Celtics.
I can't believe how many times they've done that.
That's the third time or fourth time they've done
just passed to the green shirt. Incredible.
It's 18 Boston turnovers.
Just picked himself off the floor and received the gift graciously.
Foul was on Dennis Johnson. He now has 5. And the third Celtics team foul of this 4th quarter. ML Carr is going to come in for the Celtics. Pressey, a couple of free throws. ML.
Hey, Milwaukee's hanging in.
Yes, they are.
Hey, you know, they could have packed it in when they were down 20 after the Celtic explosion. Game is getting a little more physical than it has been at any time during this series.
Johnson goes out with 13 points and 10 rebounds. Pressey hits the free throw. And it's back to a 10-point game. That's the way it was at halftime. Anderson looking for Larry Bird off the pick. Gets it underneath to Parish. Steps on Robert Parish. Celtics again committing some of the little mistakes that they had committed in the first quarter and early second quarter, and that's allowed Milwaukee to get back into the game here. Bob Lanier wheeling in. Now it's down to an 8-point game. And it's sticky time with 8.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Bucks have chopped 12 points off the Celtics' biggest lead, which came in the third quarter.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier.
Bird falling down.
By the way, this is the time when you want Bird to assert himself. There's that choice.
Dunleavy. And he walked with it, yes.
Good call.
Celtics ball coming back down.
This you can't always control that. This is what we were saying earlier about killing your momentum too soon, you know, with a lead. It's amazing how that triggers an immediate response in momentum by the opponent. They can sense that you're trying to play keep away and slow down, and invariably it leads them.
Beautiful pass. However, Lister blocked the shot. He's had a terrific game.
Yep. Needed a fake with the big man behind him.
Gets it out to Lanier. Little pop shot. And Bob Lanier fills it up. So it's again an 8-point game. 98-90. 7.5 minutes to go. Henderson outside. Short. And Bird loose ball to Parish.
Oh. Robert is
almost threw it away.
Tell you what, Robert, he's had his moments in this game, both positively and negatively.
He is fouled here by Paul Pressey. The Celtics that time looked very confused offensively.
He's just not with it. He keeps passing back away from his own hoop. You know, that's really not what you want to do, especially off a broken play, because that's when the defense breaks down. That's when you want to immediately attack the basket.
Parish, his 16th point of the game, to go with 10 rebounds. One more for the Big Chiefs. 100 to 90. 7 minutes and 10 seconds left to play.
They need to dig in for a few minutes defensively again and try to trigger a quick flurry.
Moncrief straight away. Bird rebound. Up ahead to ML Carr. 12-point lead.
Good job by ML. Protected the ball. Saw the pressure coming in from the opposite side and just tucked it in, let Dunleavy go by, and was still able to finish off the play.
Just under 7 minutes to play in the basketball game, and the Celtics have pushed it back up to a 12-point lead. 102 to 90 on this hoop by ML Carr. Area timeouts remaining, 3 apiece. Celtics have 6 people in double figures. Bird 20, Parish, Maxwell, and Henderson 17 each. Johnson 13, McHale 11.
Henderson tight on Dunleavy. Obviously, at this point, they have to be very concerned about him. Wouldn't double off him necessarily. His three-point potential has been well demonstrated. Lanier muscles his way past the Chief.
10-point ball game right now. 6.5 minutes to go. Celtics' biggest lead has been 20. That came off a 13-0 third-quarter explosion that made it 83-63. Since then, the Bucks have narrowed it down to as few as 8. Right now it's 10. Bird outside. No. Rebound to Moncrief. Marques Johnson. And see him, he's just been slowed up by that bruised left knee. Dunleavy. Johnson straight away. And it's back down to an 8-point ball game. 102-94.
Good job by Lister, anticipating the double and immediately knowing where to go with the ball. That's what sets up that little jumper for a man who's left alone.
McHale slides by Lister, goaltending. 13 points for Kevin McHale. You see him trap the ball against the glass here.
That's a matchup they certainly can exploit. Maybe going to the outside jumper a little too soon here.
10-point lead, 5:40 left. Dunleavy, who a couple of months ago was selling stock, now back in the game with the Bucks. Marques outside. Back down to 8.
Milwaukee hanging tough.
Now they're a veteran team. They know what it takes. Marques has 20. McHale, jump hook, yes. Kevin now with 15 points in the ball game.
Got the good roll off the back rim. Not an easy shot, although Kevin makes that one.
Marques coming by Bird, and a foul is picked up by Robert Parish. 4th Celtics team foul, and number 5 on Robert Parish.
It is. Johnson with a step on Bird requires the help from Parish, who kind of moves him out of the play.
Carr goes out. Dennis Johnson is back in for the Celtics. 5 minutes, 1 second remaining here in the 4th quarter.
important thing for Dennis Johnson to do, as well as Robert Parish, who also has 5, is to play as if they have none. In other words, you know, it's Casey, it's the coach's decision to gamble with him, so the player shouldn't concern himself. He fouls out. Shouldn't worry about it. Well, that helps the cause a bit.
2 big missed free throws. Dunleavy hits the deck as he caught a Parish elbow, and he's bleeding.
Well, that kid's taking a beating in this
Boy,
series.
I'll say. So is this guy, Bird, number 33. Behind the back pass in the lane, stolen by the Bucks. And traveling is called on Marques Johnson.
Those 2 missed free throws, I think, are going to about do it for Milwaukee because...
really a momentum snapper.
Yeah, that's, boy, when you're getting back in, did they have it down to 8 at that point?
They have it 8 points. Watch Dunleavy here hit the deck.
Yeah, he's hanging in. The Chief's trying to extricate himself.
Bird controlling the ball, and...
I'll tell you what.
Throw it away. How many turnovers? 21 turnovers for the Celtics in this game.
Celtics are going to win the game, but it's not going to be pretty.
And very careless, taking care of the ball, and Henderson gets knocked out of bounds by Lanier. A foul is called on Lanier, and that'll be the 3rd team foul on the Bucks here in the 4th quarter. Oh, 1 more, and they'll be at the limit. Watch
Lanier move Henderson out. So you can't move. Once you set the pick, you got to hold it. Then he shoves him out of bounds.
All right, 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the game. Celtics leading by 10.
Tough to get old in this game, I'll tell you.
Bird.
And know that the wheels are gone.
After the fake, he hits Johnson. And we're going to get a 3-second call on the Celtics. 4 minutes, 8 seconds left. Been a grinder.
Got to be very frustrating for both coaches because they can see their offense is just collapsing. You know, it seems like I really think the Heat has had a lot to do with the performance tonight, or the lack of performance.
Dunleavy out, Pressey in for the Bucks.
Which is going to be a factor in that last series against L.A., obviously. It's not going to be any cooler in June.
No. Marques Johnson hits, and it's 106 to 98. Bucks cutting the Celtics lead back to 8 points again. Milwaukee credit, they have hung in tough. Henderson, 3-point shot. No.
Boy,
not good timing.
That is what they didn't need at that point.
They lose the ball. Celtics are back with a 2-on-1. Henderson to Bird, and he's fouled by Alton Lister. Now Larry Bird will go to the line to shoot a couple. 3:27 left.
Good steal by Gerald makes up for that questionable judgment on that 3-pointer.
Ill-timed at best.
When you're going bad in the last few minutes of a game and the offense is stagnant, the last thing you want to do is take the quick shot from outside.
Bird, as you see, has 20 points in the ball game. He's been averaging 29 in this series. And for the entire playoffs, first free throw he's missed. Larry's averaging 22.
By far, Larry's poorest game in the Milwaukee series and perhaps in the playoffs.
Yeah. Got 1 more coming. Pops that one. 9-point game, 3:27 left. Bucks very much within range. Celtics have to tighten the defensive vice.
When the offense goes bad, you know you can control the D. All it takes is
coming back the other way.
Kind of an effort, a little pressure on the ball, a little deny on the receivers. And as I said, that you can control. You can't control putting the ball in the basket, but you can run your offense a little more smoothly than they have been.
That's the 18th Milwaukee turnover. Bird. Now Dennis Johnson from outside. No. Ball bouncing around. It'll be Milwaukee ball. Loose ball foul on Robert Parish. He is out of the ball game. It is. It's on Parish, so he is fouled out. And he will have to sit down. The Celtics have taken a timeout here. Parish goes out with 17 points and 11 rebounds. But he is fouled out with 2:52 to go. A 9-point lead. Very precarious.
Still shaky. Still shaky the way they're playing.
Yes.
You know, if they were digging in, you'd say it's all over. But jury's still out.
We'll come back for the final 2:52 in just a minute. 2 minutes, 52 seconds left to play in game number 5. The Celtics leading the series 3-1. They lead this game by, as you see, 9 points. But they've got to be very careful over these final 2:52 to make sure they hang on to that lead.
Okay, McHale, Bird, and Max got to toughen up under that board. Nelly, with Parish fouling out, is going with McKeskey and Lanier in there together. So they're obviously going to pound that offensive backboard.
That foul put the Celtics over the limit and will put the Bucks at the line as well. The 9-point lead could dwindle to 7. Celtics have out-rebounded the Bucks in this game 50-30. It is Lister, the foul shooter, not Lanier.
Yeah, they were trying to get Lanier up there.
Lister's not their best foul shooter. He has 16 points in the game and a couple of blocked shots. He's played pretty well.
Well, you know, that air ball he threw is the only miss he's had from the line in 5. Not a bad release, although he jumps back. Normally you want your guy to stay in there and not leave his position.
Celtics lead right now is 8 points. Lister looking to cut it to 7 for the Bucks.
Wow.
He does not. But he follows it up and gets the rebound and knocks McHale out of bounds. And the foul is on Alton Lister.
I'll tell you almost think he did that on purpose. Although after that air ball that he threw earlier, you know, it's questionable, but it almost looked like it's got to hit the rim. Almost looked like he missed deliberately and went in and got the rebound for himself.
McKeskey comes in. He replaces Lister. So the Bucks have the 2 big guys in low, Lanier and McKeskey. Celtics immediately go to McHale. They double on Kevin. As the ball bounce off his leg, loose ball on the floor. Johnson comes up with it, looking for help. He's going to be tied up for a jump ball by Marques Johnson.
Good rotation on a part of Milwaukee. Dennis seems to be hurting.
Yeah. And Ray Melchiori will come out to take a look.
They doubled on McHale, waited for Henderson to come through the middle, immediately rotated onto him. Wow, it looks like the shoulder. Is it the shoulder or wrist?
Wrist. He's had a bad right shoulder. Let's see what happens here.
Everybody's on the pine.
His ankle is twisted around. I think it's his wrist. That's what he grabbed right away, the right wrist. And he's in a lot of pain.
Dr. Silva, Ray Melchiori out there with Parish out. Wouldn't help for Dennis to have to go to the bench. Looks like maybe a dislocated finger, huh?
No, I thought he grabbed his wrist. All right, the Celtics take a timeout here. 2.5 minutes left to play in the basketball game. The Celtics lead is 8 points. Dennis Johnson has gone to the bench and still standing up there. I don't know if they're going to replace him or not. There's your scoreboard showing you the Celtics leading by 8 points and 2.5 minutes away from winning the Eastern Conference Championship and going into their 16th World Championship Series. The Celtics,
hey, they're going to have to play a little better than this at home. Of course, they've done an outstanding job at home in the playoffs so far against L.A. because you can almost figure that L.A. is going to, assuming it goes 7, is going to take at least 1 of those 4 here in Boston. And obviously, the Celtics are going to have to win at least 1 in L.A.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be able to let down at all at home in the L.A. series.
The Celtics have been in 15 prior World Championship Series, have won 14 of them, including 13 in a row. They won the first one, 56-57, and then lost in 58 to the St. Louis Hawks, and have won the next 13 they've been in.
So they're icing down Dennis's finger. They've got to get him in there. He's involved in a jump ball.
Yeah, he's taping up his finger.
And if they sub for him, they would not be able to bring him back in, I believe. He's got to take the jumper or the free throw or whatever is happening. In this case, it's a jump ball.
And Jake O'Donnell blew the whistle as Junior Bridgeman and Cedric Maxwell were kind of jousting for position, so we'll try again. And it goes to Gerald Henderson, deep in the corner, rolls off Junior Bridgeman. Austin ball.
Good hustle by Henderson. He stayed with it.
That was a critical loose ball.
Yes, it was.
8-point ball game. Bird to get it in play does to Gerald Henderson. Down to 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. Cedric, Junior Bridgeman on him. They're looking for Bird.
Good overplay by Johnson. Doesn't allow him to
Maxwell,
go.
beautiful play.
2 key plays by Henderson.
Yes. Hustling for the loose ball.
Searching out of the ball, and that loose ball, staying with it, coming up with the out of bounds off Milwaukee, and then that pick and roll job.
Lanier inside. Foul Boston. No. Put Lanier at the line for a couple of shots. They would not allow him to score the hoop, as they very definitely made sure.
Should have called the water. Look at this.
Yes.
You know, they've been calling Parish all night long for this. Lanier moved about 12 feet without putting the ball on the floor, and they finally got a foul route.
Bob Lanier at the line to shoot 2 for the Bucks. He has 8 points as he stands up there. That was the 3rd personal on Kevin McHale. Minute and 53 left, and that one won't go. 10-point Celtics lead, 109-99. Celtics a minute and 53 seconds away from heading into their 16th World Championship Series. Lanier gets 1 of 2. Milwaukee puts pressure all over the floor. They double team the ball on Maxwell. However, Larry Bird gets it up court to Henderson. One of the great pluses of having a forward who can handle the ball like Bird is when people put pressure on you, you can always get the ball to that guy. Dennis Johnson, no. Maxwell, key offensive board, block, rebound Dunleavy. Dunleavy takes it in on Henderson. Basket won't roll in for him, and it'll be Mike Dunleavy at the line with 1:28 left and a 9-point Boston lead.
Here it is. Dunleavy takes it completely under the pressure. Was that foul on Henderson or?
Gerald Henderson, his 5th. Dunleavy has 17 points as he steps up, including 3 3-point shots. Junior Bridgeman comes out, and Paul Pressey is in for the Bucks. Little defensive switch by Nelson.
Dunleavy, fine free throw shooter. He's had a good series.
Yes, he has. 100% from the foul line in this series. Has not missed in the series. Celtics lead is down to 7. Minute 28 to go. Bird up court to Henderson. Milwaukee on their next foul will send Boston to the line. Now the Celtics are going to try to put it a little on ice for a little bit. Johnson doing a good job. 7 on the shot clock. Bingo! Gerald Henderson. 9-point lead with 1:09 to go.
Big hoop, obviously.
Yes, sir.
And the last 3 very significant plays for the Celtics, again, all executed by Gerald Henderson. Gerald's had a good one, I'll tell you. He started the game off strong, and he's certainly finishing in good, strong, positive form here.
Take a look at this hoop by Gerald Henderson. That equals his career playoff high of 19 reached earlier in this series.
See, at this stage of the game, they're going to give you that shot, obviously. And you say, well, there's no one guarding him. Why can't he hit it? You know, this is when you feel the pressure as much as any time during the game, really, when you've got no one guarding you and knowing that you've got to hit a shot to put it away. That one starts driving some people to the exit with the knowledge that the first game will be on Sunday, assuming L.A. finishes their series.
Celtics have Henderson out there with Johnson, Maxwell, McHale, and Bird. Dunleavy takes it to the basket and hits. It's back down to a 7-point game with 58 seconds left. Dennis Johnson on Sidney Moncrief. Dennis wheels it up court and gets it to Maxwell.
Got to spread the offense out. Try to keep it in the hands of your good free throw shooters, and don't put it to the floor.
Pressey fouls Dennis Johnson, and DJ will go to the line with 44 seconds to play in the game. Celtics lead is 7, 111 to 104, and a couple of key free throws here.
There it is. Pressey fouls once and twice and finally 3 times.
Dennis has 13 points and 10 rebounds, Ray Perry, as he stands up there.
Not a strong game, especially defensively. He's again, been able to neutralize Moncrief. Coming into the series, we said that they obviously had to get the big one from Moncrief.
He's done a great job on Moncrief.
Continual basis, if they were going to be competitive with the Celtics.
Crowd, as you can hear, yelling, beat L.A. Milwaukee wants a timeout with 44 seconds left and a 9-point Celtics lead. And the crowd gives them a standing O. Moncrief in this game, too, is only 13 points.
Yeah, that's, you know, a lot of talk in Milwaukee about what the difference was with this year's team. Obviously, after the sweep last year, basically the same clubs, and now it looks like Celtics are going to do it in 5, and the consensus is obviously K.C. Jones, the job that he's done this year, and obviously the addition of Dennis Johnson, which gives them the big guard stopper on the Andrew Tonys and the Sidney Moncriefs of the league. Where in the past, so often, guys like this have literally, you know, been a one-man gang and have the capability of destroying, just as Larry Bird has, destroying a team individually and carrying everyone else along. So if you've got a Maxwell who can do, within reason, a relatively good job, you know, the offense in basketball today has such an arsenal of weapons to call on it, and they're so far ahead of whatever you can do defensively that no defensive player, regardless of his talent level, can effectively do a good job every night, or for that matter, throughout a complete game on a player like Bernard King or Moncrief. But just so you keep him under some control, so as I say, he doesn't come up with a 30 or 40 point game. This is all really that you're asking for, and Dennis Johnson has done this very, very capably all season long.
Well, in the series, right now in this game, Moncrief has 13 points, 4 in this half. In the series, Moncrief is averaging 17 points a game. In the playoffs, he was averaging 19. In the regular season, he averaged 21. So Moncrief is 4 below his regular season average. And in playoff basketball, that is a big amount of points. Marques Johnson takes it all the way in to make it 113 to 106. A Bucks on the inbound steal by Pressey, a terrific defensive play, getting it off to Moncrief, who stuffed it, and now it's a 5-point game with only 35 seconds left. Pressey just leaped in the air and stole the inbounds pass. That was a heck of a play.
Yeah, they've done that 5 times tonight.
They get it to McHale. Kevin almost losing the handle, back out to Dennis Johnson. 20 seconds left in the ball game. Johnson lays it in.
Okay, that takes the pressure off. Nelly is coaching right down to the last 17 seconds.
Call the timeout.
They went for the quick 2-pointer a moment ago. Obviously now they must go for the 3-pointer.
Well, we can look for Dunleavy to try to crank up his 3-point range. He's, 3 out of 4 in 3-point shots in this game. And in the series, as I told you, now he's 8 for 16 from 3-point range in this series.
I'll tell you,
phenomenal.
Normally you would say obviously it's over, but the way Milwaukee has stolen inbound passes in this game, you know, it's possible they could get a couple of quick 3-pointers. Highly unlikely, but Celtics have been very, very careless.
I want to remind you to stay tuned after tonight's game for a special Bob Lobel Live program with Bob Newmeyer out in Los Angeles and Mike Dowling here at the Garden for Celtics wrap-up. That's Lobel Live, mon ami Robert Lobel, from our Channel 4 studios, and they'll have Bob Newmeyer hooked up out in the Forum in Inglewood, California, and Mike Dowling right here at the Garden, as the Celtics are 17 seconds away from their 16th Eastern Conference championship in NBA history, and they'll be entering the playoffs for the 16th time. They've won 14 of the 15 prior times they've been in the championship round.
You've got Bridgeman, who's got 3-point range, hasn't done too well this year with it. Obviously, Dunleavy's the guy they'd like to.
They went to Marques going down the lane, who left the ball on the floor. McHale blocked it. Milwaukee ball with 9 seconds left. They were going to go right down for a 2-point layup.
They're going to go for 2. I'm surprised at that.
9 seconds left in the ball game. Inbounds it comes. Tip to Dunleavy. He does not fire from 3. Instead, he takes it in. Blocked by McHale. And that is going to do it. The Celtics are the Eastern Conference champions for the 16th time in their history. Oh, there it is. It's all over in the Eastern Conference. As the crowd whoops it up and the Celtics and Bucks file into the locker room. The final score from Boston Garden in Game 5. The Celtics take the series 4-1. Boston 115, Milwaukee 108.